Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing an LA Q&A. I am back home in Australia. I was in LA for like 2.5 months. And you know what? A lot of you guys had questions about LA, especially my Australian audience that haven't been to the US. So I put up a Q&A on my Instagram story and you guys asked me questions about LA. So I thought, let's answer them. Before I get started, two things. Raw Gear has just dropped their March drop. This is things you will see in the new drop. Go to rawgear.com to check it out. And don't forget to use my code IZZY to save yourself some money and support me personally. And if you use my code, please send me a screenshot of your order so that I can personally thank you for your support. But the second thing is, I got this shirt while I was away, and this shirt is probably like the best thing I purchased when I was gone. Prestige Worldwide.
Prestige Worldwide. Why?
Look at that. Honestly, the best movie of all time. No one can tell me otherwise. Okay. So I don't really know. Hopefully the lighting is good. So let's just start off with like a simple question. Best food that I had in LA. So I think I'm gonna try and make this like a all-rounder when I was in the United States, because I went to LA and then I went to New York and then I was in Honolulu for 3 days. And the best food that I had in the States, I feel like I'm going to say the best food that I had when I was in LA was Chick-fil-A, like in amongst the fast food. But my other like obsession I had in LA was acai bowls. So Chick-fil-A and acai bowls, and there was this one place that everyone will go to called Yogi's, and it had like a teriyaki rice bowl. Delish. Any plans on coming back or even moving to LA? Stay until the end of the video to find out. Did I go to a Lakers game? Yes, I did. Here's a picture. I went with my cousin and we like sat at the very, like when I say the very back, we sat at the back. Like my back was against the brick wall. Like there was no one behind me. But it was still a really good view, and it was a really good game to watch too. What were the pros and the cons? So let's start with the pros. The food is amazing. I met so many people, so many amazing people. The adventures were actually crazy. Like this is like a pro and a con, but time just flew by. You'd wake up at 7 and then before you know it, it's like 1 a.m. There's a lot of things to do, I feel. Very, very good sights to see. Like going through Hollywood of a nighttime was a vibe. Traffic was actually insane. A con for me, because I didn't have a car when I was there, was like having to rely on other people for like where I was going. Like I felt really, really bad. Con, there's so much fast food around that it's so tempting just to always eat and always get food. Another one, everything in LA was really, really expensive. I didn't really know until a lot of people that came from like different states of the US would be like, oh my god, it's so expensive here because back home this costs this much and here in LA it costs this much. And I was like, but overall there was way more pros than there was cons. Back to the food, the best fast foods. Chick-fil-A was amazing. In-N-Out. I had Cane's, that was really, really good too. I loved the chips. What else did I eat? In New York, I had Joe's Pizza. It was actually delicious. So In-N-Out, Chick-fil-A, Joe's Pizza was really, really good, and Cane's. How long did I stay in LA? I stayed in LA for, I'm gonna say 9 weeks. I stayed in LA for 9 weeks. I initially went to stay for 2.5 weeks, like not in LA, just a whole round of trip was meant to be 2.5 weeks. But I stayed and it was honestly the best time of my life. I had such a blast. Someone asked, is it worth a 2-week holiday? Absolutely. Like before you go, just plan everything you want to do, because my cousin and I, when we went, we were going for like the Raw Gear pop-up shop. Well, I was going for the Raw Gear pop-up shop and he just came with me because I didn't want to go alone. And we sort of didn't have activities or anything planned to do while we were there. Plus, we didn't have a car, so we're always Ubering it, and it always added up to be a lot Ubering places. So we kind of just stuck in the same area and we're doing like the same things, which it still was fun. It was still really, really fun. But it's 2 weeks, I feel like is like a good amount of time to have the time of your life. So yes. The answer to your question is yes. What will you miss about LA the most? Also, hi. Hi. And what I will miss the most is the friendships that I made. I'll also miss like the I already missed the fast pace of LA. Did you meet any celebrities? Yes. Someone asked, is In-N-Out hyped or properly rated? I'm gonna say hyped because the first time I had it, the burger was spectacular, but the fries tasted like cardboard. There was no taste and it was like really, really hard. What made you go to America? I'm an athlete for the brand Raw Gear. They were having their very first pop-up shop, and you know, all the athletes were invited to go out to LA for that pop-up shop because they were doing like a week of activities so that people could create content, everyone can like meet each other, and that was the very first reason I went to LA. Plus, I'd never been to the United States, so I was like, let's make a holiday out of this. What spots in LA would you recommend hitting up? Example, foods, gyms, activities. Food-wise, definitely go to Chick-fil-A. Just definitely go to Chick-fil-A. I loved it. Gyms, I would definitely recommend going to Zoo Culture and Gold's Gym. What is one of your best memories? One of my best memories, one like thing that I'll always remember is my first ever time snowboarding. I went snowboarding at Mount High, I think, and I went with Steve. I love you, Steve. I had a blast. Like, here's some videos of me snowboarding. But yes, I went snowboarding for the first time, and it was my first ever time seeing the snow, so that's why I will always remember it. Who did I stay with in LA? I actually did a lot of backpacking. I stayed in a lot of different places. When I first went, my cousin and I stayed just like at a hotel inn place for 10 nights or something. But when I came back to LA, I stayed in the hotel for a week, and then I stayed at Brad's house for a month, I'm gonna say. I stayed with one friend in one part of LA, and then I went to a whole different part of LA and I stayed with another friend, and then for my last few days I stayed with another friend in Beverly Hills. Like, I was everywhere. What would you say is different compared to Australia? I was always like asked, like, is LA different to like Australia? And yeah, it is to a certain degree, but like, you know, certain sceneries and stuff are different, but then others are very much the same as Australia. The energy is somewhat different, I would say, as well, especially like if you're, you know, wanting to pursue like content creating and like social media stuff. Like, LA is like the place to be, and I don't really know how to word it, but yeah, it's sort of different compared to Australia. What was the best candy you tried when you were over there? I think my favorite candy was Swedish Fish. Okay, another food one. My favorite cereal there was Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Holy crap. And you know what's crazy is like the amount of cereal options that they have. Like, anyone from Australia, you'd go over there and you'd be like, what? Because like here we have a lot of cereals, but they're not like like we would class those cereals as like a treat. Whoa, that's what I would class it as. Someone said, is it worth it? Definitely, like definitely. I absolutely had the time of my life. And that brings me to my next question, which is any plans on coming or even moving to LA? I will be going back to LA in 7 weeks. Aiming to be there on the 13th of May. And my goal is to stay out there for as long as I can. There's a few things that I need to work out before I go back there, but I will be going back to LA in 7 weeks. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna end the video right there. Thank you to everyone that asked me a question. If you have any video suggestions that you want me to film or anything like that, comment them down below. Don't forget to add my Instagram and TikTok. I will also leave the links in the description box below. And don't forget to shop Raw Gear and use my code Izzy. If you use my code, please send it through to me so that I can personally thank you for supporting me. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.